sip of water, and I'm going to move out of the center chair, and I'll let Tommy come back in the center chair. Jessica, have a seat there, and I'll move over here, and let's hear from the man and the woman of the hour themselves. Well, let's all crowd together and get friendly here. Now, first of all, Jessica, I want to thank you for that great on-the-spot reporting. It's sort of a technological miracle that you were out there on your phone, and we grabbed that live feed and we pumped it right here. So everything you saw, we saw too.
When they were all interviewing me, did you see that?
Yeah, I thought that was great. It was very exciting. And as I said to our viewers, we sort of had the same comments from you directly in advance. So we heard that, but you just laid it on them. I think we were the only people who were running with that live. They were probably just recording that.
It looked like it, yeah. It was insane. As soon as you walked in, it just swarmed you. They are so fascinated by Tommy Robinson.
Let's just scooch over a little bit.
Yeah.
Should we give them a headline?
What's the headline? What do you mean?
I'm restarting the EDL, and the first place we're going is Oldham.
Well, you know what? That group called themselves the Muslim Defense League. The funny thing is, you know what? It was interesting when you talked to that BBC reporter. It was like she had no idea what had gone on in Oldham. She knew, but she just was playing dumb, or she was just suppressing that info.
I'd say that this is censorship 1, democracy 0. That's it. This is a very clear evidence of the power of their censorship. I went the whole way through this and I bigged it up, but realizing your ability to reach people, which is what you have as an electoral candidate, you have to be able to talk to the public. My ability to talk to the public, 0, gone. Okay, removed. My ability for the members of the public to talk about me, gone. My ability to then you look at the other options, I think, right, let's send them all a leaflet. Royal Mail interfere with that. Their unions encourage their employees not to send them. They dump them. We know this. This is evident. This is factual. So then you don't have that ability. So then the other ability is you go door stopping or you go into communities. When you're threatened with murder, it's pretty hard. Thanks to you kept me alive. I was able to hire proper security. But even then, when you go in, the spin the media put on it when people come out to attack you, you're fighting. I realised very early on, I thought, the battle you're fighting here, you're not even able to reach or talk to the members of the public. You can't do it. It's impossible. For me, want to say again to anyone who supported this campaign, if nothing else, I've had a brilliant month. I know I've been away. Sorry, babe. My wife sat over there. I missed you like mad. I'm gutted. I'll never do it again, Jen. Not. It's going to happen again. We're coming back. No, there's only one option, and that option is every time you go. I said sometimes I've needed a break. Before this campaign, I needed a break, and it was time then time to fight. So I already know. I think the movement's there, the public support's there. You've just seen it, even just when we got out of the car, when we walked through town. I've had 4 or 5 different people in a short road. Go on, Tommy, we support you. What? Wow! Either you're not voting, or they're messing with your votes.
You know, we ran that live as well. That was interesting to see. I'm just going to move the mics around here because I sort of rearranged things when you guys left. Put that back there. Now, Jessica, I want to ask you a question because I heard you comment, and I'll admit you looked a little bit sad when you said there was snickers and mockery, not just of Tommy. And I understand the banter and the rivalry between candidates. I mean, feeling goes both ways, I'm sure. But the fact that it sounds to me, what I picked up from your comment there, and I have to say you look a little sad, and I can understand, I am too. But what I picked up from you is that those people don't understand that Alex Jones is censored one day, Tommy is censored the next day, Paul Joseph Watson censored the next day. They milkshake Tommy one day, they milkshake Nigel the next day. Don't they understand that the deplatforming, the censorship that hits this fella could hit anyone else, and they shouldn't cheer when their opponent is silenced, because free speech is one of those gifts you have to give to your opponent if you want it for yourself. That's what I sensed when you said those words.
Well, yeah, it was sad because people were happy about it. People were like cheering about the fact that he lost, and it's like they're ignoring the pattern that, yeah, Alex Jones and then the next person, and then all of a sudden one day there's another 5 bunch of conservatives. They think they're immune because they're mainstream media as of now.
Tommy, I thought you had a chance because I saw the energy in the crowds and we played some of your videos. But you're right. If you debark a dog, if you give a laryngectomy to a watchdog, he can watch, but he can't bark. You know what I mean? You're like a watchdog, a guard dog, and they silenced your voice. So you're like, and no one can hear the alarm.
If it's, you see, if I lost a fair fight, if I lost a fight, you lost the fight. Huh? But if you lost a fight that's not fair, that's even and that's what this was. So it is hard to swallow, because I think there's the rules and the laws are that everything's equal. The reason you can spend the same amount, all these laws in the Electoral Commission are so that the playing fields are equal in a campaign. Playing fields not just equal, not just unfair when you've got every other candidate I'm up against can use social media, but they can promote themselves from social media. They can use advertising campaigns to promote themselves. But people were specifically in organisations, left-wing funded globalist organisations, were specifically using social media to attack, slander, lie and demonise about me. And I have no platform to counter that. And as we go through the years, as we go through the years, that ability on them is going to get stronger, which is why people like Donald Trump and someone has to stand up to big tech, because it's now creating completely unfair playing fields in the electoral process, which is it's supposed to be fair. And I don't know. I'm gutted not for myself. I'm gutted for my movement of people, and we got out into estates and felt so much love. And I see the support, and I've been saying to people, I still say it, even just walking through the city, I see the support. Everywhere I go, I see the support. It's getting them involved in politics, which was always going to be difficult.
You know, I was remarking while you and Jessica were walking back here, PEN International, that's a free speech anti-censorship group. Reporters Without Borders, Civil Liberties Associations, all of these groups, Amnesty International. I remember when you were thrown in prison for contempt of court, and a lot of people wrote to Amnesty, and they copied me on their letters and on their replies. And Amnesty said, "Oh, well, he was in violation of contempt of court. That's not what we care about." Well, when the Court of Appeal said you were improperly convicted, Amnesty didn't say, "Oh, well, we better correct the record." All these so-called civil liberties groups, civil rights groups, none of them have made a peep about you being silenced in any way. I think that's a problem.
Say hello.
Well, there's your youngin.
You all right, son? Sorry, guy.
Tommy's got a live stream within a live stream.
How you doing, babe?
Of his little one.
I'm sorry, but I lost, babes.
I died.
We'll keep fighting, mate. Keep fighting. Hey?
I tell you,
Right?
Tommy's kids are so cute. I wish we could show you how cute they were, but of course, the
No,
bad guys
he just ran into the lounge on TV and he looked at it and he goes, "Look, it's me, it's me." He just ran in.
Well, I wish I could show you his family, but
I love you, son. Yeah.
the hostility of the left won't permit it. And
See you later, babe. I love you. Bye bye. Sorry about that, Ace.
no problem, Tommy. It was great. I was just saying that, I wish, I've had the pleasure of meeting your lovely family, and I always joke, and it's only a half joke, how did you deserve such a lovely family, Tommy? I'm kidding around. But I wish we could show people how wonderful your family is. I think one's family is a reflection of oneself, and your family is so wonderful. But I know we can't ever show them in public because the left wing is so full of rage and hatred, they would actually wish it for harm to come to your family.
They do. I know they do. We know they do. I didn't want to be. I didn't want my supporters to be deflated. Now, because more than anything, because as I said, I see the support everywhere we go. It's now on a positive. I've had knockbacks throughout the years. This is the least of them. Trust me, I've been in some bad situations. This is certainly not the worst. So I'm planning to move forward. Got a court case on the 4th of July. We've got to fight that again. And just keep fighting. Keep fighting. And really now sit down and work out how best to attack the social media, because that really is going to affect us. It's going to affect us all.
Jessica, what do you think? You had an interesting experience there. Tommy was a polarizing figure, but it sounds like people identified you with the rebel. Did I hear you correctly when you said that? Tell me what your thoughts are. I thought your coverage of the campaign was straightforward and fair, just asking who, what, why, where, when type questions. What are your thoughts on the UK media? I have my thoughts, and I've been sharing them for 2 years now. What do you think after a few weeks here in country?
Well, with the way the mainstream media has covered Tommy specifically, it's made my job easy in a way, because I just show up, I capture what's going on, and I report the truth. That makes it easy on my part. And it's funny because there was at one of the rallies, there was hundreds of people there for Tommy, and there was one reporter from the local paper, and there were 2 lone protesters with their signs, and she spent the entire time talking to those protesters. I didn't see her going around talking to the supporters, because when you do talk to the supporters, they have a lot to say. Yeah. They have a lot to say compared to when you go speak to a protester and you ask them simply why. They just start calling names and they don't have anything to say. So I'm surprised that she spent so much time with them.
You know, that's very Tommy, I've just got in my hand here a whole bunch of super chats directed to you. Can I whip through these and have you give a quick answer? Okay. Gaming Jesus says, you are the man, Tommy. Never give up. Quick answer.
I'm never giving up. My wife was sorry, babe. She's on their side.
Survivor 71 Abby says, you are out there, Tommy. You've proved to the establishment, your supporters, that you will not be held down. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed that. I was asking my wife.
You proved to the establishment, your supporters, you'll never be held down. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, every one of you. Because even to fight this fight that we've fought, or to continue fighting it, I've needed the support of the people, which I've had. Everywhere I walk, I know I'm not alone. So
I'm just going to bang through some really quick ones. Waski 1, thanks very much, Ezra and Jessica. We love our Tommy. Yvonne Sputz says, you're our winner, Tommy, the true king in the North.
Thanks. I've loved being in the North as well. I've loved it. I've loved the Northwest. Absolutely loved it.
Liam Meehan.
Am I moving?
Debbie Shaw, Bilderbergs and Masons run everything are set up. William Lavagna, $2. I am play. Tommy is 100% correct. This is unfair election. It's beginning now. Rhea Hill, Tommy, we donated. We'll be godfather to them. Will you be godfather to them? Not sure what that means.
Tommy, wait, which one?
From Rhea Hill. Tommy, we donated. Will you be godfather to them? I assume they're referring to their own kids.
I'd happily be godfather. Yeah.
William Lavagna, Tommy, you achieved so much. You've made the fake media even more transparent during your campaign. They want you to give up, never back down.
I won't back down. One thing that's clear from this is the Labour Party and the Conservative Party took a right kicking, and that's what they deserve because of Brexit. So it's a positive that's come out of it. I would say is I'd love to sit here and say, right, Brexit Party is brilliant. The Brexit Party is another party. They're great on the European Union, but they won't talk about the issues. They won't talk about Islam. It's another politically correct party. We're not any further in politics or shaking up the political system in this country. It's not like we now have a voice that's going to rock the establishment, that's going to talk about all the issues. One thing is for sure, we set history. We've got the biggest support an independent's ever got. So that's my positive spin on this. And yeah, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. And again, we keep fighting. And it's been, if anything, I've had an amazing month. My wife's gone out of the room now, so I've had a brilliant time. It's been absolutely tiring, exhausted. I felt like I hit a brick wall. I felt so run down when I just went home for 3 days, just knackered. But I've had a great time. So thank you to every single person that hugged, kissed me, that shook my hand, that embraced me. Throughout this campaign, it's been so warming for myself. I feel loved.
Well, you know, the thing is, your support, because of the internet, your support is wide. It's in many countries around the world. So to go for a geographic base, even Northwest England's a big place, but what, there are 8 regions like that in the UK? So to extrapolate that, I mean, if you ran in any one place, that's going to limit your support. But if you are worldwide, nationwide, worldwide, that's the tricky part, because your fame and your support base is spread out. To hope for a political victory in a certain geography, maybe that was part of the challenge too. I'm just brainstorming.
No, I think it was definitely I do think it was doable with the support. I just think I don't trust any of it either. I don't want to sound like bad. I don't trust it. I don't understand why it has to be used. Pencils have to be used. I don't understand why your votes have to be sat in guarded rooms for 2 days. I don't understand that. I don't understand the logic behind any of it. It makes no sense. Should have had the election today. The election should have been today or last night. I don't know, but I don't trust the establishment at all, as everyone knows. I don't trust the media. I think that considering, again, I've learned a lot as well. I wish that I'd have known that this election campaign was going to be coming on for 6 weeks or a few months beforehand. We just all of a sudden, right, we're doing a campaign. What do we do? Because none of us knew. What do we do? Right, let's go. And we give it. There's one thing I wouldn't, which I explained to my wife. I don't want to go up there and leave anything so that I can think afterwards, well, I should have done this, I should have done that. So I completely threw myself into it. And so did my supporters. And, yeah.
Well, listen, Tommy, a fight well fought. Your first electoral outing, 40,000 plus votes.
I still can't accept that.
Yeah,
I was just telling you, I can't.
yeah.
I guarantee you, I could do a. If I had my social media, I'd do just people to sign up in the Northwest and get 100,000 out.
Well, there's a lot to digest here, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned, not just in the UK, but back where I'm from, in North America, in Canada, in the United States. There's a lot of things to learn here. What they did to you, the depersoning, the censoring, they will do others. You are a test case. Well, Tommy, thanks for spending so much of the evening with us. Jessica, thanks for doing such a great job these past few weeks. Let's one last your thoughts on the evening, and then I'll give my final word, and we'll give the last word of the night to Tommy. Give your thoughts for. I mean, you came here as a student journalist.
Mm-hmm.
You followed Tommy from afar, but you weren't really deeply into his story. What are your thoughts here after the campaign and tonight's result?
Well, of course, I've seen a lot of news about Tommy in the past. And then meeting Tommy in person and talking to him and not even just like with interviews, but just casually talking, he's a normal person. He's not this monster that the media is trying to make him out to be. He's a regular guy, honest. Regular, as regular as you can get. And it was amazing to see before you got there tonight and when you left, that your supporters were there the whole time. The movement behind you is so strong, and I think you agree. You don't want them to give up. You don't want this movement to end here at just this one election.
It can't end. It can't end here, and it doesn't anyway. And as I said, for anyone feeling deflated, I've felt deflated many times over the last 10 years, and we've always bounced back. And we've bounced back and shocked people and surprised people. So to the opposition, to the left, to the establishment who think, well, that's them beat down, and then bang, we're back. And we'll be coming bang back. So yeah, Well,
that's great. Tommy, thank you. Jessica, thank you. I would just like to say thanks to Ed, who helped us here at our Manchester headquarters. Special thanks to my friends Justin and Martin back in Canada. Yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
Spencer, Macy, get to bed. It's 20 past 11.
Thanks to our Rebel team in 2 continents that put this together. Justin and Martin, thanks for your work back in Canada. And to all of you Rebels around the world who have supported us, who supported Tommy, who supported us tonight through Super Chats, thank you for that. We're certainly not going anywhere. We'll be reporting on things tomorrow. We'll be back here. Jessica and I will be back in the UK on July 4th and 5th to cover Tommy's yet again another contempt hearing at the Old Bailey. Until next time, on behalf of us here at Rebel Media, to you at home, wherever you are around the world, good night, and keep fighting for freedom.
Oh, mate, 40